Hello and welcome to Three Sisters, One Heart podcast. I'm Shannon.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Heather.
And today we are talking a little bit about aging. We're kind of working off of our last podcast where we talked about hygiene. So now we're going to talk a little bit about aging, what we do, how we feel about it, how we do things to age a little more gracefully, and things like that. But first, let's jump into trials.
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
I mean, trials are never really fun, but they're kind of nice to like get out and kind of talk about a little bit. Makes
Get it
feel
out,
a little
yeah.
less, trialsome. So my trial, which now we're doing bi-weekly, but my big trial over this weekend has been my beloved cat Lasagna has been sick. So he was missing for a couple days, and I won't go into all the details, but he was missing for a couple of days. He was a stray when he first found us as companions, and so he is an indoor-outdoor cat. He goes, he comes, no big deal. He's really chill. He's kind of dog-like, and that he'll, if he hears us pull up, he'll run and he'll sit and he'll wait for us like a dog would at the gate, But he was missing for a couple days, which was kind of unusual. I called for him. He's very close to me in particular, so I thought it was kind of strange I didn't see him. And then a couple of nights ago, we had gotten in from a friend's house kind of late, around 10 o'clock, and I called for him because I was starting to get worried at this point. At first I was not too worried. And he kind of hopped up from under the house onto the front porch, but he looked out of it. He kind of seemed like he was after he was fixed and we took him home from the vet, disoriented. His eyes were squinty. He just seemed out of it, where am I? He was looking around and pausing, and he had a little bit of goopy, dark goop in his eyes and in his nostrils, crusties. And so I was oh, he's not seeming right. And I tried to tell Chris, and the fam, I don't think he seems right. And they were no. But as they looked at him, he really wasn't. So I could not get him to eat or drink anything. But he did spend that night, cozied up at the end of our bed and just slept all night at the end of our bed. And the next day, that was last night. Oh, last night at it was 2 days he's been out of it. Because then last night, yesterday gave him some water from a dropper, a straw, and could get him to have a little bit. But he was annoyed with me and didn't want it. But I made him take some water drops, but I was still worried it wasn't going to be enough. So then you had suggested, Heather, doing the tuna fish. And I thought, oh yeah, he's going to be so excited. This cat will eat bread scraps. He will eat any random stuff. So I thought, oh yeah, he's going to be all about some tuna fish. Nothing. So I got him to later in the evening. I finally got him to drink, and he was drinking on his own, but only one time. And then around 3 o'clock in the morning, I got up, I took him outside, he went pee. He doesn't like being held. And I picked him up, walked him outside, put him down so he could pee. When he was done, he looked at me. I picked him back up and brought him inside, and he went back to sleep. So this morning he seems much better, thank goodness. I got him to eat a couple bites of tuna fish. He drank a little bit more water, and then he went to the front door. He wanted to go out, which was a good sign to me. So I let him out, and he was on the front porch for a few minutes, and I left the door a little bit open while I went to make coffee, thinking, oh, he's just going to sit on the front porch. And then when I went back out on the front porch, he was gone again. And I'm kind of kicking myself because, it's weird. It's a weird thing because he was a stray, especially with him, we kind of take this approach that he's a friend a traveling friend. He comes and goes as he pleases. When he's around, we're happy to see him. When he's gone, we know he's probably okay. This obviously was a different circumstance. So now I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not sure where he is. I think he maybe went back under the house.
But it is somewhat normal for him to kind of
come and go, but not to be gone for so long. So I do think he must have got into something or ate something that made him really sick, because I think he just laid up under the house for a couple of days sick and then didn't respond, because he usually will come, and then finally when he was coherent enough again, then he was oh yeah, that's
I don't
my
know
name.
why it didn't dawn on me that this could be a possibility, but is there any chance, I mean, I guess you really wouldn't know, but that it also sounds like he's had neurological issues.
Oh,
So did he get hit?
I don't know. I don't know.
Even if it was just a light tap, but the discharge from the nose and the eyes makes me think hit.
I thought the same. It was kind of weird because they were crusty, and they were dark, like a brownish tinge, like they could have been blood. But they weren't like blood down his little nose or anything, just in his little nostril slit. And I thought the same, but like I did feel him over. I couldn't tell anything. He did seem a little
if he
leaner.
just like barely got tapped and someone stopped in time and just enough to give him a little bit of a concussion, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sleeping that much is also a concussion sign.
Oh. I mean, that could be what happened too. Yeah. I'm sure it just must be like incredibly frightening for him because he doesn't understand what's going on, you know? But I'm guessing too, like, he must be feeling on the mend enough that he felt okay to kind of mosey off a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign.
Me too.
It's worrisome that he's gone again.
I'm a little nervous.
I mean, vet side of me, that's not always a good sign.
Because then they want to die. Yeah. Right. I know, and that's what I was worried for originally. Mm-hmm. But he was hardly moving in the past couple of days. And this morning, like, his eyes are open all the way, which is great. Because, I mean, he's always bright-eyed, now at us, you know, not as talkative as Mariah, but, like, he's fairly talkative. And he just was lethargic and laying. And he's, because he was a stray, he's always, like, when he's in the house, he'll be a little bit on the alert, you know, like, if he's on our bed and, like, say we're moving around in that room space, he might be like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And then he'll leave if it's like too much movement. If it's too much movement. And nothing. He just literally slept on the bed for almost 2 days now. So it's a little scary, you guys. And
they become members of your family, so
I don't have, like, I love animals, of course, and I love our pets, but I'm able to, as a parent too, like, I'm able to, like, compartmentalize and, like, I understand, like, you know, Nature's circle of life, all of these things, but there's probably been 2 pets that I've ever felt so attached to, and he is definitely one of them. So it's been tricky, and I've spent the weekend just, you know, nursing and babying him, and I hope he's gonna be okay. So that's my trial. I know it was a little long-winded.
That's okay. It happens. What about you? Where do you want me to go next?
I can go next. It's obviously not nearly as sad or
that's okay.
big of a trial as you're going through. I'm just trying to clean and get house ready just for baby, and just so I'm not doing so much once the baby comes, because he leaves soon after she's born.
Does he know? Oh, actually, maybe you can't even say.
Does
he know where he's going?
As of right now, nowhere. They're floating around because of the coronavirus. They can't pull into any ports.
Oh man!
So it's gonna be a long deployment.
And he'll just be out to sea that whole time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's.
But I just I guess I'm starting to get into the nesting phase, and I asked him to help me clean. Bless his heart, he was trying. But he doesn't clean how I want.
I don't think anybody does
how you want, you know?
Like I'm not even the cleanliest person, but when I'm deep cleaning, I'm deep cleaning. Like, I want my house to look great.
Yeah, right.
If you're putting the energy swept under the tables. I want tables dusted off. And by the way, do y'all understand how hard it is to dust off Lego figurine stuff?
Well, I can imagine.
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't figured out how.
I know how.
How?
You got to get that computer key, like,
that's a good idea. I'm gonna have to get some.
Compressed air.
That compressed air thing, that'll do it.
I'm gonna have to get some.
That's a good idea.
Because I was, like, trying to wipe it down. I was like, I can't. It's not coming up.
I have thought about that because, you know, my friend Lauren, she loves Lego too, and I thought the same thing, like, and, you know, she makes those, like, big crazy, those, like, grown up. You guys are the same. You have, like,
we're the same way. We have the Millennium Falcon. Yes. That's what I was trying to dust, and I was like, I literally can't dust this.
It's a lot of little pieces, a lot of grooves.
And Lord, heaven forbid if you mess it up.
Oh, yeah.
The world will end.
He won't know. I just stick it on somewhere. He wouldn't pay that much attention. But, like, I appreciated him trying to help, but then I was scrubbing the bathroom, and I hear from the living room, You want me to scrub the bathroom? No, I got it. I got it. Are you sure? Yeah, I got it. So I was like, I need this done the right way. Thoroughly.
But the thing is, Heather, sometimes you gotta let them help because otherwise they'll stop pitching in.
Yes, I know. But that's why I was like, okay, when I leave, can you fold this basket of laundry right in front of you that's been in front of you all day?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'll fold it. Do I need to put
you.
another load in the washer? I was like, I already did that. You can switch over and start another
So
load.
he's getting better at that then, too, huh?
No, he'll still pick his own laundry over everyone else's.
Aw.
So
But
funny.
that's why I just do it all.
Coming from bachelor life.
Yes.
He's not really, he's like, I need these for work.
Mm-hmm.
He's not thinking
So,
about everybody's needs
no.
yet.
So I appreciated the help, but it was just
Like,
Frustrating.
yes,
thanks.
it was frustrating, and I of course
Just
I don't
get
want
out
to
of
say
my way,
anything to
right?
him. Yeah, I don't want to say anything because he's helping.
Oh I know.
Yeah.
So I just bit my tongue and I was like, thanks. I'll have to resweep.
I think mine, it's not huge, but I'm having a lot of anxiety and kind of feeling
Oh.
displaced. And it happens, I was talking to somebody, maybe you guys, about this, but like when Zoe does something new for herself, like she cooks her breakfast for the first time, makes scrambled eggs, whatever. It's super exciting and it's fun and it's whatever. When Abriana does it, the baby, it's like heartbreaking. Like, it's crazy to have such a different emotion for the same exact skill, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
And so I've been kind of struggling with, like, what's my place? Like, what am I? Like, my kids need me a lot less, but
We've
I'm
talked
still
about that a little bit.
not-
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of just in full swing again right now. I think that kind of triggered it.
It is very cyclical,
Yeah.
Our cycles of anxiety and worry.
Mm-hmm. Because it's
Just
kind
when
of,
you think you're good, it swings back around
yeah,
again.
it's a nice place to be as a parent because they're old enough that they don't need me constantly. As hard as that is for me, it's a good place to be. I mean, you want your kids to be more independent, but they're not old enough yet that they're out in the world and I'm having to worry about what they're doing or who they're with or things, what could happen. Like, they're still under my supervision. So it's really like, it's like a little glory age that we're in right now. But it's still, like, I have such a hard time because so much of my identity is as a mom, a busy mom. And now that I'm not as busy, I don't know what to do. I'm struggling. So it'll pass. It always does. It's more about just kind of having more time for me, and I have always said that I wanted that. I mean, who doesn't? Self-care, things along those lines.
I'm starting over.
Yeah.
Like, as they gain
I mean,
independence.
it's not that bad. I don't need to start over.
Yeah. Like, the issue is, like, that you are excited for them, but as they gain independence, they need you less.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's hard
Yeah.
for me.
Which
I
it's
would
funny.
like it. I
It's
think
funny you
it's
brought
great.
that up because today I called Tiffany because I had a couple things of hers at the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, are you home? Just making sure because I'm gonna let Matthew run it down to you."
He's
by
gonna be
himself.
such a big boy.
Mhm.
And he was like, "No one's coming with me?" And I was like, "No, just run these down to Aunt Tiffany real quick." Tiffany lives right around the corner,
I can
and we
literally
know all of our
see
neighbors.
to the end of
Yeah.
I can see where my street and her street meet
Yeah.
very, very well.
And it's
the
only
point
3
that she
houses
stops
from
seeing
my
him,
house to
she
the
can
end.
see.
Yeah, from
Yes.
the point where she can't see him, I do see him. So he was so good.
And he must have bolted back because he was
He
quick.
ran. He ran. I think he wanted. He was excited.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" He's like, "Nothing. Y'all cleaning?" Yeah.
No. He's like, dang it.
But I will
Yeah.
say, they cleaned their room faster than I've ever had them clean their room today.
Did
Good.
you? How did you give them a bribe or reward system?
They
or
clean
something?
their room, they play their video games.
Heck yeah.
Not a big deal, and we've
Love
had
it.
that before, and it's
That's
taken
huge
them
because
hours.
it's such a big deal.
40
for
minutes,
them,
they were
usually.
done.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're not done yet." Went in there, sure, everything's
it
done.
just not
they
as
had their
messy?
toys their Legos put in the right box. They had their everything. I was like, they're like, "We need to get rid of toys. We have too many. Our toy box is
yeah.
overflowing." I said, "Absolutely."
Christmas
Yeah,
is
right.
coming up soon too. Might be time to do a purge.
We are doing real slim this Christmas.
Us too. I was just talking to Shane about it. First off, my
I don't even
kids
know
are
what to
getting
get
older.
them.
I
I
have
was
no
saying,
idea
Jack
anymore.
still plays with toys, but Matt doesn't really play anymore. He'll build Legos.
It'll
he
be
loves
neat.
Legos. But both their tablets are outdated.
Every
So
year I
that's their
try
big
to,
gift.
for Christmas, stick to the let me think. I think it's like 4 things. It's something they need.
Something they want, something they wear, something they need, something they read.
Yes.
Oh, I
But
like
then
that.
and then fill in a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I love stockings. I'm a sucker for stockings. I like putting little gifties in the stockings and wrapping those
keep
too.
them busy.
Because
Yeah.
I think it comes from us growing up with not a lot. Stockings were always my favorite because, you know, once the presents are gone, then you have even more little
Round
presents
2.
inside. Yeah.
A little different in my house. I like stockings first.
Yeah.
Let them tear through those stockings while I am getting breakfast ready and getting
Oh,
all that
that's a good
situated.
idea.
Especially this year because I'm going to be real round come Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have them this year for Christmas.
Aw.
So when I'm supposed to get them, if I don't, she's measuring so far ahead already, I don't see them letting me go to 40 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I see
Yeah.
it more of first week of January. Well, guess when I get
Oh,
them
we
back?
got New Year's baby.
The first week of
The
January.
first week of January.
We'll
make
work
it
it
work.
out. We'll work it out.
It'll be fine.
I do let them choose usually. I don't have I do make them wait because I want to see them open things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like not long because they're all excited. As they get older, half the time now it's gotten to where like I'm up before they're up
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh, I'm
they're
out mine.
at 13 and 15 they're getting to where they'll sleep
Sleep all day.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I could see this year especially me having to like wake them up.
Like, let's do this
Yeah.
Christmas thing.
Or like wake them up with like cinnamon bun smell or something.
Yeah.
You know? But I usually let them pick. They can do
Always
whatever they want to
cinnamon
open
buns.
first.
I know, I love the cinnamon buns.
Usually if there's a big gift, I'll try to like put that towards the back. So that they
They're
like
not-
save their big gift towards the end of
We
their
already know
presents.
what we're getting them.
Yeah.
They're getting. Your kids already know about Christmas, so they're each gonna get a big Lego set, like a big one.
Like a theme for something that they both
yeah.
like. Cool.
Each need new tablets. Both their tablets are crashing.
Mm-hmm. They did good with those
They
tablets.
it's
They
been
lasted
3
a
years.
while,
They're
yeah.
they're
and they're
well
hard.
outdated.
They're hard on everything. How many
There's not a single crack on either of those tablets.
how many remote controlled grave diggers have gone through at this
We
point?
I just threw another remote control card out today.
They love them though, but they
But they
tear
are
them
rough.
up. They
Yeah.
tear them up.
Oh my gosh. And
Man.
then like some clothes and little
Yeah.
things here and there, but they're really not getting much this year because
That's
Matthew's really in a couple video games.
Mm-hmm.
Because Matthew really doesn't play with toys anymore.
They don't need much. You know what I love, which I don't know how this turned into a talk about Christmas, but whatever.
Yeah.
I loved last year when we did the, I love doing games and stuff at Christmas. Like, I liked when we did the
Yes,
Family
they liked
Feud.
family games.
And I loved doing, I liked when we did the swap last year was so much
We've
fun.
gotta do that
I want to do
again.
that again this year.
That was fun.
But, what was the one where we played it, with the big family, the game where we did like,
The balloons?
the thing was like wrapped in a bunch of cellophane. It has
Oh,
little presents along
yeah.
the way, and
And,
you
like,
have to
gift
wear like
cards and-
oven mitts, and you have to try to unwrap it
Oh, yeah.
and get out.
I forget what that's
as much
called,
as
but I
you
know
Until
what
can.
you're
like
about.
somebody rolls
Oh
double
yeah,
sixes.
the person ahead of you has to roll double sixes, and you can unwrap as much as you can and get as many little prizes as
or
you
just
can.
doubles in general. I
Until
think.
that
Yeah.
time, and then they get their turn to. You have to hurry up and
Yeah.
put the gloves on. That was so much fun. I
Yeah,
really
that
liked
was
that
a lot
a
of
lot.
fun.
That's
All right.
fun. All right.
Let's switch to
Anyhow.
our actual topic.
Yeah, so let's jump into aging and how, what we do and things along those lines. And I'm
How we
kind of
feel
interested.
about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
interested to see how this goes because I don't think this isn't really something I've talked to you guys about a lot. So
Yeah.
it'd be-
Well, I figure, we're all kind of getting to, and I really came to this kind of realization with our last topic, that we're kind of getting to an age where, we're no longer spring chickens.
Yeah.
And we are having to like think about these kind of things where before maybe we put little thought into, or
Yeah.
I've talked before about how like you always imagine, like I imagine myself when I get married, imagine myself having babies, and then there's like a big chunk of life that you don't imagine any of that
Yeah.
time period, and then you imagine yourself as like a little old woman. So it's like, what about that in between time? Yeah, how do you feel about that? And what kind of things do you feel help you stay or feel young?
Yeah. Well, it kind of more hit home to me because I'm realizing, this is my last year in my 20s.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what am I gonna? Well, it's not a huge deal for me as much as I thought it was gonna be. I was like, I don't really mind
Yeah.
because sorry, it just I don't know. It just feels normal. which obviously it is normal.
Yeah.
But it's not something to stress over, like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 30.
Well, like
So
when you're a
what?
kid, 30 feels really old.
It does.
And it's really not.
I remember I was, I guess, about 27-ish. And Ben and I were still on the back and forth on, are we going to have another baby or not?
Oh, we've been there.
And it was, in my head when I was 27, it was like, if it's not by 30, I'm not doing it. I'm not
Isn't that
doing
so
it.
funny how
And
you
now-
give yourself an age marker
Yeah.
for things,
Yeah.
though?
And then I hit 30 and I was like, wait,
This
like
ain't
you
nothing.
you expect something to happen.
Yeah.
Like, this
You
is
start
actually the same.
sprouting, like, mustache hairs or something
No,
overnight.
thank goodness.
I've got a little. They're coming in. But I'm a little older than the both of you.
Something to look forward to.
I felt the same at 30. Like, I really wasn't worried about it. I didn't feel the need to, like, not celebrate. People that are like,
Yeah.
oh, it's my birthday. Shh.
I really,
Hide in the
yeah,
darkness.
I thought
Like, I did not feel like that at all. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, cool, 30. I got a bicycle for my 30th birthday from my parents. I was awesome.
Mhm.
It was a good birthday.
I thought it was going to be a big deal, and I wasn't. It wasn't. 40 to me now, which maybe it'll be the same way. 40 seems like that scary, like 30 was.
35 was a little intimidating.
Was it?
Yeah, more than I expected it to be. I think because when you're about to turn 30, you're like, okay, I'm about to be 30. I'm going to be in my 30s. But at 35, I came to the realization, like, you're like halfway done with your 30s. You're almost 40 now, And so I have that, like, little bit of, like, oh gosh, I'm almost 40. Because 40, honestly, I think being 35 up puts you in a different bracket.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to check a different box.
yes. It's like, now I'm 35 to 45.
Well, you know what
You know
I
what I
think?
mean? And, like,
Yeah.
that makes me feel like, oh, 45, oh gosh,
Right.
Although I am the kind of person that feels like age is fairly irrelevant,
Mhm.
depending. There are some things that are not okay.
Right.
But aging is fine. Like, you're as young as you feel. You're as
Mhm.
young as you take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Well, my favorite example is always, like, I think in the last, I don't know, even 10 years, watching Mom has made me feel a million times better about
Mom has
aging.
aged beautifully.
Because she's
Absolutely.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But not even on a physical appearance or anything level. She's very much, she had kids young, and I did too.
We all did.
What I like to call her second youth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I look
she
forward
is
to
taking
that.
full advantage of
They're
that.
vacationing and they're doing stuff like all that kind of stuff. And I'm really bad with ages. I couldn't tell you how old she is. But she's more than 40.
54?
Oh, I was gonna say 3.
I think it's 4.
I don't know. I think it's 53.
I think it's 3.
Well, apologies,
Either way,
Mommy.
she's about-
tomato.
She's about 50. And she chooses to live her life as she wants. She doesn't say I'm 50 or
No,
whatever.
they do
Like, there's
so
They
much.
are so busy.
they're more active than I am.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's something too that I kind of put in for my notes is like, I know like aging can be intimidating, but also like as I age, what I realize is that some of those things like I worried about so much that I care
Nothing.
0% about now. And I imagine it just gets better. You
Yeah.
know, like I cannot wait. Like you said, when we get to like the age mom matter now, I want to be almost in the same place.
Yeah.
Like we're doing
I want to
things.
go
We're
out camping
traveling.
every
We
weekend.
have
I want
money
to
all the
go to
time
the mountains
to do those things.
on a last minute's notice. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, once both boys hit 18, the mountains is probably where I'm going.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I want.
It's my heart place.
I do want Botox. I don't like the appearance.
Okay,
Thing.
well let's get into that a little bit. So what kind of physical factors on aging are you like most scared or intimidated by?
Just wrinkles.
I
Screw
I don't
it.
like this. You can like whenever now I can't make it happen.
You look great. You're
I
you're
can't
like,
make
yeah,
it
I
happen.
have
What
one
the
more.
fuck wrinkles?
Yeah, like if I give a look, like you can see.
No.
I want Botox right here,
I
and
think
just a little
probably
bit right here.
everyone is a little bit afraid of wrinkles. Because I definitely have a
I'm
little bit of
hyper aware of things like that, though.
Yeah, you are, definitely. I'm a little bit afraid of wrinkles, but also, like, I kind of go back and forth. Like, I'm a little bit afraid of wrinkles, especially because I was heavier most of my life, and since I lost weight, I have a little bit more, I have, like, loose skin, I have a little bit of a waddle started, I have, like, some smile lines that are more prominent now that I don't have as full cheeks.
I like that.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
You can take mine.
It means you've been happy.
I know, but
if you're gonna have any wrinkles, have the smile lines.
The wrinkles that bother me the most are the smile lines, and I'm getting the crow's feet. It's mostly when you smile, and then it's like, ooh, girl, maybe don't smile.
Maybe don't.
Just kidding. I could not stop smiling. I'm a happy person, so
yeah.
But yeah, so wrinkles definitely are one of my like worries. Also, probably my biggest fear with aging, and this is much further on, hopefully, is my mind. So I am terrified, because I have not a very good memory. I am terrified of Alzheimer's or dementia. Any of those.
That doesn't run in our genes.
Thank God.
That doesn't mean it can't happen, though.
I know, but it's less likely to because
but I worry because I already have not great memory. Like, I'm talking memories of stuff that you want to remember. Like, remembering my baby's faces. Isn't that awful? I hate it.
I
like, thank God for pictures, because I wouldn't. And I just imagine, like, for instance, when you think back and you're like thinking back to your life, what's about as far as you can think back to fairly solidly?
I don't know. Actually, Zoe asked me the other day what my first memory was, and I couldn't come up with anything other than like when I was like 10.
It's like sprinkles.
And like I know there's a lot more before there.
Yeah, but for me it's like late middle school, high school. Are my like sturdy, strong, remember a lot.
School.
Aside from that, it's like sprinklings.
Yeah,
of
my
stuff.
memory is really bad.
No, I can remember the little trailer park.
Yeah.
And that was before I was even in school.
Wow. That's really good. That is really good. I'm like, I can remember bits and pieces. If you say something like that can trigger, like when you said that, I can see it. You know what I mean? But like as far as like
green and yellow
particular memories, again, just speckled.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss what I'm going to
Not
remember.
a whole lot.
Where I have friends that'll be like, oh yeah, when I was in the second grade, I did such and such, and this was my teacher, and my favorite outfit was this. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, I can tell you what I was doing.
It's like I lived another
when
lifetime.
Well, 9/11, I think most people know that.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, we all remember
like
that.
That's a more prominent, but like just like as a general. Like,
and I was in high school then, so like that still is part of that. More can remember.
Yeah, because I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, but I worry about like health issues and things like that. Like I joke about wanting Botox and stuff like that, but I don't really care that much. Not enough to do anything and spend that much money. maybe next year. But cancer runs everywhere, and every year I'm alive is another likely that it could happen, and just anything that could go bad. I mean, I have heart issues. Is it going to get worse as I get older?
Yeah, so your heart issues, I've already had cancer cells burned out of me.
Yeah.
So that's so scary.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It is something I should stay better on top of. Which after this baby I will.
Yeah.
But at this point, it is what it is, and there are now so many steps. Not saying it couldn't kill me, because it very well could. It is more curable.
Yeah, it's not a death sentence anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I think,
especially if caught early.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I mean, I'm gonna have 3 babies. If you need to take it, take it.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need no more after this.
At about 30 is whenever I started taking those kind of things seriously, because like. I have heart issues and stuff like that, and all through my 20s, I didn't pay any attention to that.
Also,
that's terrifying, by the way.
If there's been any big change with, like, hitting a mile marker, like turning 30, it is that I give less fucks, but I have more awareness.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. I hope it just keeps going that way. Like, yeah, now I'm more aware of like, I'll say, like, in the early days, even in my 20s, like, my fitness focus was weight loss. 110% weight loss. If I'm healthy, that's good too, but I did a lot of things for weight loss that were not healthy because the end game was weight loss.
It wasn't to get healthy, it was to lose the weight.
Now it's like the other side of that.
You want to be healthy.
I want to be strong. I want to be healthy. I want to be...
Skinny doesn't mean healthy.
No. And
Not
it
at
took
all.
me through my 20s to learn that.
Yeah.
Honestly. It really did.
And it's a hard lesson to learn. It takes a long time and a lot of trial and error to get there.
So I definitely feel like now I have more awareness. I'm do things for my health because I can feel it reflected. I'll say something else about aging that I realize now is that, like, I can hang. I cannot hang.
Oh, no.
And
Like, we were talking yesterday, I was going out to see friends, and I was like, I really thought I was going to get a nap today, and I was really stressed out, because I knew we were going to be out late, and I didn't get to take a nap.
yeah, like, it's gotten, like, even especially this last week is like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm passing out. Like, I cannot. That's as late as I can stay up. 11 o'clock is, like, my cutoff time, because I can't stay up past that.
And last night we surprised ourselves, stayed up. Even the kids were up to about 10:30 last night. Weekend, not a huge deal.
Yeah.
We were hoping to sleep in. They were up by 7. But
Never
I
fails.
also cannot drink and bounce back again the same as I used to. As a matter of fact, I used to could drink pretty significant. I'm not petite, and I think that's why, and especially when I was heavier, even more so. But I can still put away some alcohol, but I do not feel the same the next day anymore.
No.
Like, so I have to be careful.
haven't reached that point.
I have to, like, try to remember, cut yourself off at 3 glasses of wine. Don't do more, you'll feel sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do 2 bottles. Well, obviously not right now, but
Well, let's
before
hope not.
baby, down 2 bottles would be fine the next day.
You wouldn't
still.
feel sick? See, that does not, you just wait. That does not happen.
Oh, I expect it. I'm just...
Anymore for me. It's, oh God, I
But
feel
that was also
so
my
awful.
realization, maybe you should not drink right now. That was after my miscarriage and everything, and I was not in a good
guess, too,
place.
it
So I was
really
just like,
depends
I
on,
need
like,
to just back off.
What kind of wine you're drinking. Because, like,
Some of it goes down way too easy.
You could be
Vintner's
drinking...
Red goes down entirely
Yeah, but
too
I mean,
easy.
not just that, but, like, some of them have different alcohol content. Like, I've told you the story where we went to dinner with Chris's dad and his fam for his stepmom's birthday, and, like, I had 3 glasses of wine, but, like, I'm used to... Well, now I'm better, because I'm learning to, like, drink sturdier wines and, like, expand my palate. But we drink, like, girly wines that are, like, 7 to 9 alcohol by volume. And here I was drinking glasses of wine that are, like, closer to 12 to 14.
Yeah.
And I was so wasted. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, God.
I mean, I was okay. I wasn't, like, I wasn't embarrassing myself, but, like... It was
That's
just
like your
a mess.
husband's family. You don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care. They're wine people, so
Yeah.
they brought the wine to the birthday dinner. So, like, it was at a restaurant, and his dad was like, "I'll bring my own wine." So it was good. I'll tell you that. But, like, oh man, I was so gross, and I felt so bad. And, like, when you're younger, those kind of things, like, you're just like, oh, whatever. I was fucked up. No big deal. Sorry, expletive.
Yeah.
No big deal. Now, like, I feel, like, embarrassed and regret more.
Yep.
If, like, even if, like, nothing happened. Like, if I think back to some of the stupid crap that I had done drunk in my, like, early days, and then now it's like, oh, I said something I shouldn't have.
Yeah, and then it, like, replays over and over and
I
over.
cannot get past it. Yeah, like, I worry about that kind of thing more than I ever did before. So.
Yeah.
What is something that you would go back if you could and tell your younger self? From your perspectives as a 35, 31, 30?
What is it?
How old are you?
These boys ain't shit.
Yeah.
What is that song?
Yep.
I spent way too much
29.
time. I spent way too much time on piece of crap guys.
Yep. Same.
And they're not good for you. They don't want your best.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really tie to aging, but that's always my
No,
go-to.
That is something I would tell my younger self.
Definitely a
Get
lesson
out
learned.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one in particular, like 7 years of my youth and early adulthood could have saved myself a lot of wrinkles.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I think I would have told myself that don't waste your time. You're worth more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't tell you, same. If we're talking boys, especially,
Yeah.
don't
But
waste your
in
time.
a lot of different situations. that
You're
Yeah.
worth more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And then
wouldn't have stayed at a job so long.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Like being taken advantage of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you tolerate those things less as you age. And that is a positive about aging.
I will say that's something that's about 30
Mhm.
changed for me.
It's awesome.
Is that it just, I kind of just realized, like, I am worth this. If you don't want to pay me, if you don't want to treat me right, if you don't want to do this, like, goodbye.
I would have also told myself, because I'm a people person. I also grew up, and I think a lot of women do, as a people pleaser. And I would have told myself, you know, you're not responsible for everyone else's feelings.
Mhm.
I'm still
You
working
are not
on learning
responsible
that.
for other people's happiness.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that, and I still catch myself up sometimes and be like, "Whoop, no,
I do.
cut it off, no."
Mhm. I do wish I would have learned to say no sooner.
Oh yeah,
That took me a long time because I think
It feels good to say no more. That was my resolution a couple of
Yeah, I remember.
years ago, and it was hard because I caught myself a lot. And then I was like, no, you're supposed to say no more. If
Yeah.
you feel it all no, just say no. I'm better at it, but still, that's a work in progress.
yeah,
Then.
I'm not super great at it, but I'm a lot better than I
I say,
ever
let
was
me
before.
think about it. And then by like the next day, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe not.
I would have also told myself to slow down.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, slow down. I think like when you're, you know, when you're 18, you're an adult. You're also graduating from school. You're about to go off into life, and there's a lot of pressure to know who you're gonna be, know what you want out of life. And really, it's like, okay, let's assume that you live until 80. At 18, you're a baby. You are a baby.
Go enjoy life. Like,
Yeah.
Yes,
Don't
it's-
feel like a need to rush.
Yeah.
Don't let other people telling you that you need to rush pressure you either. Like, I mean, that's
It's not a
hard.
race.
Yeah, it's not a race.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big takeaway for me.
Yeah. So as far, I don't know. I mean, I really thought that aging was gonna be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I just did. I've always, vain is a strong word, but I've been there, that I've been that way, that I thought that I would really struggle, and then as it is happening, it's fine. I like it almost.
I was thinking about this too, and so part of me, I've never been like real vain.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like I look good sometimes, but like it's not like ever been real priority for me.
Yeah.
So I've kind of like the thought of aging and the thought of as you age, then you start to kind of like go unnoticed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel a little nervous, but also it makes me kind of look forward to that because I kind of like the idea of like, doesn't matter then. No one's
Oh.
noticing me anyways. So like, I'll just be even more myself.
I can
you know?
totally see you being a little old lady with like the sparkly like visor and
Oh yeah, no bra, boobs down to here. It's gonna be
that's
great.
gonna be amazing.
I'll give no fucks at that point. So
I know you wanted to talk about, and I'm interested to hear about the stages.
okay, so I forgot to look them up. I looked them up last night a little bit, but I didn't
Just tell
write
us what you
much
know.
notes. Okay, so when we were first talking about this topic, I was telling my sisters about the maiden mother crone archetype, which is also has some roots in some paganism and some neo-paganism. Basically, it just comes down to a woman's life cycle. They also call it the triple goddess, and I'm gonna get all hippy-dippy here, but so women obviously are life bringers, and yes, we need men, and I'm not trying to discredit men, but if it weren't for women, we would have no life, you know. And so they, in the olden days especially, they used to kind of uphold that to a higher standard and almost to a higher spirituality. So with the maiden mother crone, basically the maiden stage is when you're young and you're young and you're free and you're learning and everything is new. And then the mother stage is obviously how it sounds. It's when you've become a mother, and instead of like your focus being on yourself, your focus is on your children, or we're raising, more children for the future, essentially. And so then the next phase is crone, and that is like basically when you're all dried up, there's no more babies to be had, you're not responsible for babies or childbearing anymore. And it can seem like it's negative, because I remember I had messaged this on the group chat that we have, and Mommy was like, crone? That doesn't sound good. But it sounds like bad. Like, you think of, when I hear crone, I think of like little witch in Snow White or something, But when she changes to the witch to give her the apple, and she's all like decrepit.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily at that point.
So the whole point of that phase is that you're supposed to be wise and listening and reserved. Where, as opposed to, say, maybe the maiden, where you're fiery and
I'm sorry, but I want to be a feisty old lady.
You could still be a feisty old lady, but it's just kind of interesting to use those kind of archetypes to celebrate that phase of life, instead of feeling like, instead of mourning it, like, oh, now I'm a mom, I'll never be free on my own again, and
just recognizing that it is a stage, and it's not forever.
I'm a maiden, and they say I don't know anything, or they keep telling me I need to do this, that, and the other. When will they let me just be myself, Or the crone, who, that stage of life, like, okay, so maybe you're on the down side of life, and maybe you're losing some things. Maybe you're not as strong as you once were, maybe physically speaking. Maybe you have more wrinkles, but like, what you have to give still is that you have all of this knowledge.
Trumps all of that.
So it's kind of cool. I would say we're all still in the mother stage.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I'm in the mother stage, but because my kids don't need me as much, it feels very much like the next stage.
Like, you're about to hit that next stage, and it's scary.
And it's still a ways off.
It's because it's intimidating. It's like going
I don't know about
into the
y'all,
unknown.
but I still reach out to Mommy and need her, so...
Well, yeah, of course.
We're still...
But she's not responsible for you.
Yeah. Shh. Mommy is closer to the crone stage. She's kind of at cusp, She's definitely wise.
Yes.
God knows. But she doesn't have to worry so much about breeding and, bringing more humanity into life, So it's kind of cool.
I think that's cool. I love whenever you always have different things that I've never heard of, so I'm always interested.
Yeah, there are some really great books out there if you, especially if you want to do some like personal inner work, on your own development as a woman. You can just Google that, maiden, mother, crone, archetype. You'll get a lot of stuff pop up. I can also recommend a book called Women Who Run with Wolves, and they talk a lot about the archetype as well, or the triple goddess, I should say.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because often the triple goddess, if you see like an illustration or something that represents it, it's like a crescent, waning moon, a full moon, and a crescent waxing moon.
Oh,
I might have those crescents backwards, but like it is pretty because it, also women they say that we are we follow like the moon cycles, and so it's kind of neat.
That's fitting.
Yeah.
I like how it all ties together.
It's very interesting stuff.
All
right, so one more little thing to talk about. What are the ways or things that you do to stay young?
Moisturize. That's about all I got.
I don't do shit.
Yeah, I'm really terrible. We talked about this a little bit last
I drink lots of
episode.
water.
Oh, I wish I could do better.
Yeah, drinking lots of water is on my list. I drink lots and lots of water. I am not great about moisturizing, but it depends. Like, I will, in the winter, if I get dry, I'll moisturize. I usually use coconut oil.
Yeah.
I'm really simple, but as I get older, it's hard because, like, if you Google, people are afraid of aging, you guys. If you Google aging, first off, it's all for women. Men are not worried about aging.
Yeah.
It's all stuff for women. It's a gazillion and a half different products. And when I started like pulling up different people's anti-aging beauty routines, I could not. I'm sorry, I can't do it. You're doing like 3 or 4 things to your face every morning.
Yeah.
You're doing 3 or 4 things to your face every night.
Scrub my face with some water at night, and yeah, that's it.
And part of me is like, but part of me feels that pull, like, oh, if everyone else is doing this, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I kind of find some in-between space.
Yeah.
As we talked in the last episode, I have started to kind of like up my beauty routine a little bit, but very slight. I'm the same, Heather. I wash my face with a hot washcloth, no soap, no nothing. Done.
Nope. Just
I
water,
use all the products.
scrub.
But you wear more makeup for work and stuff. I don't. I hardly wear makeup.
I mean, you'll see on here. I don't even have that. So
you probably do have to use more like a cleanser or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, plus you want to protect your skin after taking the stuff off.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense.
like I'll scrub if say I've put sunblock on the day. I'll scrub with face cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I have worn makeup that day, I will take my literally my face wash is this big and I've had it for months. That tells you how much I wear makeup. So I just just water.
I have to be careful. Sunblock will
But I'm
break me
also
out.
I don't really break out that much.
I did.
But when I do use products, I break out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not worth it to me to invest in the products when
I feel like I have fairly sensitive skin, and you probably do too then, because same, like, I have to be very, very particular with what kind of sunblock I use on my face, because I'll get a breakout.
Yeah.
Even if it's a good one, sometimes I'll still get a breakout. So, nobody wants that.
No.
Yeah. Other ways that I personally try to stay young is exercise and diet. So, I'm not talking diet like, okay, let's eat no carbs. Not like on a diet. Not on a
like
diet.
just your diet as a whole.
And trying to eat things that have high nutritional value, because I know if I get in a lot of nutrient dense foods, that it's going to be full of those vitamins and minerals and things that are going to be readily available for my body to absorb.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do know people that take like supplements or take like vitamins. That can, honestly, there's a lot, it can be kind of controversial. Like, so if you look up, like, how well do vitamins work, depending on what study you go to, who paid for that study, you're going to get different information. Because a lot of vitamins are not easily absorbed into the body from taking them from a supplemental form.
Yeah, you can take it all you want. If your body's not going to absorb it, it's pointless.
Right. Or sometimes you have to take a lot of it just to absorb a little of it in the end, because you end up passing it. So I don't do any vitamins. People ask me that often because I'm vegan and
I do vitamins,
and I work out
but
a lot
because
of stuff.
I have chronically low deficiencies.
Right.
So
That is
I
true.
have to.
That is true.
Yeah, I take them for my deficiencies, but I don't take anything additional.
Right. So far I don't take anything, but if that changes, obviously I'll look into it and I'll start taking something. We already talked about lots of water. Your skin looks best when it's hydrated. We live in Florida. It's hot.
It takes a lot to get hydrated.
This is a good one. Keeping up with preventative medicine. And I'm not necessarily talking
Vitamin C every night.
But I'm not really talking about taking medications. What I'm talking about is preventative medicine. So, as we talked about a couple episodes back, I'd gone to the doctor for the first time in like 12 years.
Yeah.
That's too long, guys.
Yeah, don't do that.
That is too long, and the older you get, the less time you want to have in between. And so I'm going to really be trying to work on that. Like, I'm trying to, like, get all my stuff in, and it's scary because it's been so long. But at the same time, it's good to know what's going on with yourself, and it's good to keep up so you can kind of keep tweaking.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely something that I wouldn't even say like right whenever I turned 30. Like in the last year, I've done a lot better with, and I intend to keep it going because I feel better than I have in years.
Yeah.
Because I took care of issues that I kept putting off. Like, it's pointless. Go get help, and it'll be fine.
Well, in a lot of ways, I read something, and I'm going to probably misquote this, but it's like after 35, everything starts going this way.
Yeah.
You're not going this way anymore.
No.
So that's probably another reason 35 is a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Started reading up on stuff, and so basically, it's not saying, like, obviously if you don't work out and then you start working out, you're still gaining muscle mass and stuff, but like it starts to get, like, you ever hear people say it's harder? Yeah, like it's harder to lose weight after 30 or whatever, 40. It's harder to create good habits and things like that. Like,
well, your body is putting so much into sustaining.
Yes.
And it takes more. So you have to work harder at whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
So true. Something I have added to my routine that we talked about recently is that I have started derma rolling. And that is because I don't love these smile lines so much. So I've been derma rolling. I've only done it twice. But then I read up recently that you can do it up to every couple of days if your skin is okay with it. So I'm going to up it now to every 2 weeks instead of once a month because it doesn't bother me. I know some people, and my skin I do feel is sensitive, but some people are particularly sensitive to the needles. For me, I'm fine. I feel like a little bit itchy.
I've thought about doing it for a while, but I can't quite wrap my head around it.
I brought it so I can show you after.
Okay.
It's really easy. And it doesn't hurt. I know you think it would hurt. I was super nervous. It doesn't hurt. And then I also started using, with my derma rolling, a vitamin C serum for my skin because I wanted to look nice as I age. And with that vitamin C serum, it's like vitamin C with some other things. So the one I have is vegan, of course. It has hyaluronic acid. It has aloe vera in it, and it has the vitamin C also, which is really nice. And I'm feeling okay. I haven't gotten into any like retinol creams or chemical peels. That stuff really scares me. Like
I've done chemical peels before because I've always had really bad skin.
Yeah,
but I've gone to have them done. I would never do that to myself.
I read someone was like, I do them once a month at home, and I'm thinking, gosh, that seems like a lot.
Maybe it's like not as like strong as I would assume. If you can do it at home, it's not as strong as what they would do like in an office.
I have a hard time because I teeter between like doing nothing because I won't say I'm not necessarily a naturalist, but I like lean a little bit more towards that, and I have a hard time kind of finding that balance between living my natural self life, know, and then doing some preventative things. But not getting caught up into all of the things, like I don't want to Botox. I'd rather derma roll in the hopes that it will help my wrinkles than Botox. It scares me.
What is it called? Instant gratification is my thing.
Oh, hey.
I don't like waiting around. I have no patience. Like I'll pay you more for the results.
Just do it.
But it's just how it goes. So, all right, we should probably wrap up. We're getting a little bit long-winded. Let's do quick triumphs for the week. You want to go first?
Sure. I finally got my husband to sit down and work out a budget.
That's amazing.
Oh, this is so good. I'm so excited for that.
I've cut my coffee down to once a week.
That's impressive.
My Starbucks budget.
Just once?
Once a week.
The Starbucks has not been my jam lately. It's been hit or
miss. It
miss.
is pumpkin spice season. It is my
I can't have it. It's not vegan. No. Hello, Starbucks. Make a vegan pumpkin spice. The vegans will pay extra for it. Do it. Why not do it already? Just do it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I love pumpkin spice, but it's not.
I even went and got pumpkin spice
that I can have.
Spice latte and creamer for home.
Yeah.
It was not the same.
It's because they have that water filtration.
I know, but I'm trying to be very good now.
Yeah.
And stick to my once a week budget.
I've cut back Starbucks, but not to once a week.
I've definitely cut back too. Yeah, that's twice a week maybe. I've been trying not to drink it as much. Today we have Dose though, so I don't know if it counts if you're drinking coffee from somewhere else.
Well, I've been eating healthier, so that's my reason.
Also,
I don't like the term diet.
Oh, and
shout out to Dose.
I don't think it's gonna do it.
You can't see it.
No,
it's
Dose.
Backwards. Anyhow, Dose in town, they have really delicious coffee. They do their own roast, and if you are like a coffee person that really just like likes to taste a lot of varietals and different roasts of coffees, their roast is delicious.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about budget, I was going over, my grocery budget. I'd probably spend $400 a month, which really is not much.
That's still pretty good.
Bad at all.
And he was like, "What? $400?" I was like, do you realize how much you
I
eat?
probably spend close to 6.
Yeah. I was like,
I would say
400
we
for a
probably
family
spend
of 4
almost
is
150 a week.
nothing. He was like, oh, well, okay. And he was like shocked that I spend that much. I was like, that's all out of my paycheck.
Have him start going to the
need to
grocery
realize,
store
like,
with you.
when we
You-
did our budget, we did not include my check because after baby comes, there's no paycheck. And Lord knows I can't count on child support. So I've got no income. So I needed him to realize, hey, we need to go off your budget alone and we need to start sticking to this now.
This is what I would do, Heather. Just to kind of give him an idea, is I would go through the bank account and I would write down anytime you hit a grocery store and tally it up for the month. And then I would hit up anytime you go to fast food. And I would tally that up for the month.
Yeah,
Because
seeing it
he
in a
is
chunk.
not realizing how
I told
much
him
you
he's
spend
gotta,
on that,
he's got to
too.
stop eating out.
Because you know how he'll be bopping back and forth around
Yeah.
and stuff, and he'll just pick something up here or there.
No,
but
the
that
other
adds
day
up.
I
If
was
he wants
out
to
and I
save
wanted
money
to go
on
to the
your grocery
bookstore.
bill.
And granted, yes, I wanted to get.
That's where.
I was having an Arby's craving, so bad on me. I caved and got some fast
having a
food.
pregnancy craving.
But
is one
seriously,
thing.
all I wanted was some curly fries and cheese.
I get that.
So I snuck out. Plus, I had donations to drop off, so I dropped those off, and I went to the bookstore because I needed some freaking me time.
I bet it was so nice.
It was wonderful.
It was so rainy yesterday. It's been yucky,
And
the weather.
he texted me. He was like, "Can you bring me some lunch?" I'm like, "There's food in the house." I was like, "If you absolutely cannot find anything to eat in that house, I will bring you food." And so I was leaving. I was like, "Do you still want food?" He goes, "Oh no, I ate the leftovers." Thank you.
Yeah.
I like leftovers.
It's got to go both ways, though. If he's not allowed to eat out, you can't either.
I know, but blame the baby.
No.
I cut my Starbucks to once a week.
That's pretty impressive.
I was going daily,
That's crazy. I can afford it.
once a week.
I'm too
That is a
I'm too
huge
frugal.
chunk.
I'm too frugal for that.
Yeah.
So
What's
once
your
a week.
triumph?
My triumph is that, you guys, it is almost spooky time.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I've been kind of like, about it. Because, you
Like
know,
I'm
we don't know what's
excited
gonna
for
happen.
fall, but
I keep Googling.
I don't know what's gonna happen yet, so I'm afraid
Yeah.
to get excited for it.
Yeah.
Fall is fine. I'm excited for fall, but what I love is Halloween, and I keep Googling to see if our city is like done anything
They
with
can
Halloween.
cancel it. It's still gonna happen.
They haven't said anything. Yeah, but I'm a complier. I'm not.
Yeah,
if they say no, then I'm not going out trick or treats because I don't think that's right.
I don't think so
it's
either.
right. And I understand what you're saying. Like, I understand both sides, but for me personally, I would feel so guilty, and I would feel bad, and like I would be worried.
Well, on the
So
off
and I wouldn't want to like have my children. I wouldn't want to set that example for my children. You know,
on the off chance we can get all of our kids together and do a little kids Halloween
I'm
party.
thinking we're gonna do a little something at my house for the older kids especially, but we could probably piggyback and have the littler ones come too.
Yeah.
They are talking about maybe having a couple of friends over, and it's all friends that they have actually like had contact with through all of this. So it's not like any friends that I'm worried like, oh, we haven't seen them
like
in
you
so
just
long.
kind of keep your circle small.
Small, yeah. And they both said they seem excited to do that if we need to, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. But I have not been super excited about Halloween. Also, like every year, we are big costume people. We make costumes. Annika really wanted to do family costumes this year, but it's like we're gonna do family costumes just to sit at home.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
But with on my Instagram, every year for this will be the 5th year, we've done a Halloween yoga challenge called Toil and Trouble Yogis. This year it's Toil and Trouble Yogis 5, if you guys are interested in joining in on Instagram. Or you can also join in on through my Instagram. It's on my feed at Tiffany Scott 713, and it's fun. It's themed. So
I like watching it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're doing it for 7 days, and basically it's very loose and open. It's hard when you like are doing a yoga challenge and like you're trying to make it too specific because like it's holidays for a holiday, you know. And so we have 7 days picked. You can costume. You don't have to costume. You can do fun edits. You don't have to edit. But if you're a costumer edited, we are going to be super excited and be more likely to give a prize to those people. But I'm starting to get excited coming up with my different costume ideas.
Yeah.
Every year is different, and I like to keep it that way, but like every year it gets a little harder to like branch
you've done
out
so much.
to think, like, what else can I do, and, like, what can I use that I already
crazy
have?
Cat lady.
I
The
have to
crazy
find
cat
keys,
lady.
then.
Do a little stuffed animal.
I can
case.
have animals. Stuffed animals. You know how much I love stuffed animals?
I don't love them,
Ugh.
and my kid loves them.
Mite collectors.
Yuck.
Ugh. Anyhow, so I'm super excited
Edit some
for
little
Halloween.
kitties stuck to you.
I can give you a couple ideas of a couple of things that I'm thinking of doing. 11 from Stranger Things.
I don't know what that is.
Pink, the fabulous Pink. Who else am I gonna do? Ooh, I crocheted this really cool dress. I'm gonna do like a Spider Queen look. I'm gonna do. Ooh, I don't want to say them all because some of them
Yeah,
are
don't
really
worry.
good. I'm not gonna say them all. Anyhow, it's super fun. Most of the time, I'm not a go out and buy expensive costume. I'm a piece something
Goodwill.
together from the thrift store, and what I have already in I have costume boxes.
Yeah.
They're like the big Tupperwares or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Annika plays with them all the time. Still.
I have one too that you can dig through if you want.
Ooh, I will. I will definitely.
I do not.
Anyhow, I'm excited for Halloween.
Mine, nothing real big happened this week. I got purple hair. And
Yeah,
that's
look at
about all
that
I got.
mermaid hair.
You can't really see it in the camera, which is actually perfect. If you go on my Facebook or my Instagram, you can see
see
that
it.
it's actually
At
very
where,
purple.
Shannon?
Oh, at Shannon Eucalis.
At
There-
Instagram.com?
Yeah. There's no other Shannon Eucalis. So it's it's S Eucalis
It
on
is
Instagram.
Instagram. And how do you spell that?
YEKALIS.
Why
But
is
yeah,
it
so
complicated?
I
Hey,
don't
she
know.
married into it. What can you do?
But I love it because it's fun and it's bright. But as far as being on camera, you can't tell.
It just looks dark.
It's anything but brown.
At least to us, but we have
work
these
is
lights
fine.
in our eyes, so
Yeah.
maybe it does.
Yeah, maybe
translate
it
a little
does.
better.
I don't know. But either way, as far as like for my work calls and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I obviously I work in corporate America. I can't have purple hair, but
I
nobody
mean-
can tell.
Cause not.
I feel like if you're doing your job,
Yeah. Same as
not-
tattoos.
No,
It's not.
there's rules against it.
That's the
oh,
part.
that sucks.
That is just the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
How about you? Triumph.
She already
Already
did
did mine.
first.
Oh shoot, we all did it.
Yeah.
I feel like this. Okay, I think I had too much caffeine. Because,
You're like,
yeah, I'm like, I feel like 15 minutes has passed.
That's funny. Nope, it's
Nope,
been
it's been
1
over
hour.
an hour.
Wow.
And on that note, we should probably wrap it up. So do your spiel. You do it so much better.
Oh, okay. So don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know if there's any topic you'd like us to talk about.
Mhm.
Let us know what you think about aging. What's the scariest thing about aging to you? And don't forget, you can always reach us at 3sistersOneHeartPodcast@gmail.com. You can ask us anything. We would love to start an advice column, but we actually need some people that need some advice.
Yeah.
So ask us. You might get 3 different opinions. Could be interesting. You can also find us at 3 Sisters One Heart Podcast on Instagram, 3 Sisters One Heart on Facebook, right? 3 Sisters One Heart
Mhm.
on Facebook. You can find us at 3 Sisters One Heart Podcast on Spotify, Libsyn, and iTunes.
Bye.
Bye.